Imagine transforming everyday junk and 3D printed objects into a fully functional go-kart. Sounds impossible, right? Well, not anymore. Welcome to the world where creativity meets technical skills and where discarded materials find new life. Today, we're exploring the art of turning junk into joyrides, a thrilling adventure that combines the power of imagination and the magic of mechanics. Think about that pile of old bicycle parts in your garage, or that outdated printer sitting in the corner of your room. Would you believe if we told you that these could be the core components of your very own go-kart? Yes, you heard it right. With a bit of ingenuity and a dash of technical prowess, you can transform these items into a go-kart that's not just a fun ride, but a testament to your inventiveness. Building a go-kart from junk and 3D printed objects is not just about creating something functional out of discarded materials. It's about the journey, the process of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. It's about learning and applying technical skills, troubleshooting, and solving problems along the way. It's about the satisfaction of seeing a pile of junk transform into a working, moving, joy-giving machine. But don't worry, you don't have to be a mechanic or an engineer to embark on this adventure. All you need is a willingness to learn, a creative mind, and a love for DIY projects. And of course, a bit of patience. In the next few scenes, we will be going through the details of what materials you need, how to assemble the framework, install the engine and drive system, and add the finishing touches. We'll also share some common mistakes to avoid and troubleshooting tips to help you along the way. So, are you ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into this exciting project? Are you ready to turn junk into joyrides? Stay tuned to learn how to bring your very own go-kart to life. Before we dive into the building process, we need to gather our materials. Our go-kart creation will require a mix of items, some of which might be lying around in your garage. Our go-kart creation will require a mix of items, some of which might be lying around in your garage. Our go-kart creation will require a mix of items, some of which might be lying around in your garage. We'll need a sturdy base, perhaps an old bicycle frame or a discarded lawnmower base. These items will form the backbone of our vehicle. Next up, we need wheels. Old bicycle wheels can work wonders if they're in good shape. We'll also need a seat, which we could salvage from an old chair, or even a broken down car if you have one. Now for the tech-savvy part, we're going to need some 3D printed parts. These would include items like the steering wheel, gear shift, and pedals. Each of these parts plays a crucial role in making our go-kart not just functional, but also a joy to ride. And of course, we'll need some basic tools like a wrench, a drill, some nuts and bolts, and a little bit of elbow grease. Now that we have our materials, it's time to get our hands dirty. The first step in our go-kart building journey is assembling the framework. This is the skeleton of our go-kart, the backbone, if you will, that holds everything together and gives our creation its shape. It's like the foundation of a house. Without it, everything else will fall apart. Let's start with the junk parts. We'll be using these to create the main body of the framework. The beauty of using scrap materials is that they come with a history, a character, and a bit of charm that you simply won't find in brand new parts. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not building a showroom model here, we're building a go-kart with personality. Now, let's move on to the 3D printed parts. These are the pieces that will give our structure its strength and stability. They're custom made to fit our design, which means they'll fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. The precision of 3D printing allows us to create complex shapes and structures that would be difficult, if not impossible, to achieve with junk parts alone. What's great about this process is that you're not just building a go-kart. You're learning about engineering principles, about how parts fit together, about the importance of a strong and stable framework. And you're doing it all with your own two hands. As we assemble the framework, we need to ensure that every joint, every connection is secure. This is the stage where we need to be meticulous. A loose joint or a misplaced part could lead to problems down the line. Patience is the key here. Before we finish, let's take a moment to appreciate what we've created. From a pile of junk and some 3D printed parts, we've built a framework, a structure that will soon become a fully functioning go-kart. It's a testament to the power of creativity, ingenuity, and hard work. With our framework assembled, we can start building up our go-kart. This is where the fun really begins as we start to see our creation come to life. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. The heart of our go-kart is its engine and drive system. This is where we transform raw power into motion, and where our go-kart really starts to come alive. To kick things off, we're going to install the engine. This might be a salvaged lawnmower engine or something similar. It doesn't need to be large. After all, we're not trying to break any land speed records here. We're just looking for something that can give our go-kart a bit of zip. Next, we need to connect our engine to our wheels. This is where the drive system comes into play. The drive system is essentially a chain or belt that transfers power from the engine to the wheels. It's a bit like a bicycle chain, but on a larger scale. Now, let's talk about steering. Steering is obviously crucial for a go-kart, unless you fancy going in straight lines all the time. To install the steering system, we'll attach a steering column to the front wheels. Then we'll connect this column to a steering wheel. This is a bit trickier than it sounds, but with a bit of patience and some careful measurements, it's perfectly doable. Now let's talk about one of the most common mistakes when installing these components: alignment. Ensuring your wheels, engine, and steering system are all correctly aligned is vital. Misalignment can lead to all sorts of problems, from poor handling to excessive wear and tear on your components. So take the time to get this right. It'll save you a lot of headaches down the line. Finally, remember that safety is paramount. Ensure all components are securely fastened and double-check your work. And of course, always wear appropriate safety gear when operating your go-kart. Our go-kart is starting to take shape, but we're not done yet. It's time to add the finishing touches to our go-kart. This is the part where we see our creation really come to life. Now you might be thinking, we've built the frame, installed the engine, our go-kart should be ready to roll, right? But hold your horsepower. There's still a bit more to do before we hit the racetrack. First off, we're going to install the seats. Yes, that's right. Comfort is key, even in a homemade go-kart. Whether you're using a cushioned chair or a simple wooden board, make sure it's securely fastened. The last thing we want is a wobbly seat when you're cruising at top speed. Next, let's move to safety. We're going to install some safety belts. You can use a regular car seat belt or even a sturdy strap. Just ensure it's strong enough to hold you in place, should you take a sharp turn or, heaven forbid, capsize. Now onto the fun part, painting. This is where you can truly make your go-kart your own. Go wild with colors, patterns, even decals if you like. But remember, this isn't just about making your go-kart look cool. The paint will also act as a protective layer against rust and wear. Once you've decorated to your heart's content, it's time for the most exciting part, testing. This is where we find out if our go-kart not only looks the part, but acts it too. Start slow, take it for a gentle spin around your yard or local park. Make sure everything is working as it should, and most importantly, that it feels safe. And just like that, you've taken a pile of junk and a few 3D printed parts and transformed them into a fully functioning go-kart. You've not just built a vehicle, you've built memories, skills, and perhaps sparked a new hobby. Congratulations! You've just built a go-kart from junk and 3D printed objects. So there you have it, the basics of building a go-kart from junk and 3D printed objects. We've journeyed through the captivating process of turning what some might call waste into a fully functioning joyride. From gathering your materials, which could be as simple as rummaging through your garage or attic, to assembling the framework, the foundation of your dream machine. We also delved into installing the engine and drive system, the heart and soul of your go-kart, ensuring it's not just about the looks, but also the performance. Lastly, we added the finishing touches to make our go-kart not just a vehicle, but a reflection of our creativity. Throughout this process, we've showcased the blend of creativity and technical skills required to bring an idea to life. This project wasn't just about building a go-kart, but about sparking that inventive spirit within you. Remember, the only limit to what you can build is your imagination. So what will you create next? What will you